Hey there, it's Dustin Wright coming to you live from the Community Beer Facility here in Dallas, Texas for your portfolio newsletter for this month in 2025. We've got a few key articles for you, some of which we've talked about before, but I want to bring you up to speed with kind of some things that are really moving in Dallas-Fort Worth that you should know about. The first story right off the bat is kind of a continuation from last month. We referenced Apple getting a massive investment and investing basically over $500 billion into the United States, one of which is they're building a new plant just outside of Houston. Well, we've got a little more information on that just to give you some key highlights. $600 billion in investment, most of which is actually funneling into the Lone Star State, over $100 billion of it specifically to basically manufacture a lot of their goods and to shift gears from things like the iPhone, the Apple Watch, to be developed in the Houston area. So what is that going to do in that northern part of Houston? It's going to create tremendous amount of jobs and really create Texas as a driving force in the technology division and department, which basically is really setting up North Houston to kind of be the next Silicon Valley, just with what Apple's going to be bringing to the forefront. Also, hop over to Austin with me. Texas Instruments basically just got a massive grant from the government, $1.6 billion to develop semiconductor chips. So obviously, if you follow the news at all, there's been a whole thing about semiconductors and developing chips, whether it be in China, Taiwan, et cetera, you name it. Anyhow, this is back to driving this manufacturing in not only the United States, but Texas Instruments just got a massive grant happening inside the Austin area. So that is expanding jobs, and that's going to bring a whole level of production and industry, again, happening in Texas, just outside of Austin with Texas Instruments. So keep an eye on that specific thing coming your way. Now, what's happening a little bit more on the local front, and most of you from the entertainment, you guys probably follow this, all my Yellowstone fans, Taylor Sheridan is basically developing and building in partnership with Hillwood, Ross Perot's organization. They are developing 450,000 square foot studio, basically in the Alliance area. And what that's going to do is that's actually going to be the largest studio in all of Texas to begin with, but it's going to be rivaling what you would see anything in Hollywood in terms of production. In fact, it's larger than most Hollywood studios right now and what they're planning on developing. So obviously Taylor Sheridan, it seems like everything that guy touches turns into gold in terms of television, movies, you name it. And so what that's going to mean not only for our entertainment should be interesting, but what it's going to mean for Texas employment and jobs. Again, Alliance area continuing to explode. And you guys mark my words, Alliance is going to be the next major hub and major cosmopolitan city. And Dallas is going to be a subset of that. You just keep an eye on it based off what they've got developing right now. And then here's another thing. We've got a Texas Senate Bill number 17 that is rolling this way right now. Real estate agents, listen closely. You need to make sure you pay very close attention to this. That has to do with creating a restricted list of countries not allowed to purchase land. I will tell you, this has already happened in Florida. And so we've got certain countries that are restricted, China, Iran, North Korea, or Russian. So those government entities or those Chinese nationals, et cetera, as an example, that want to purchase land in Texas are about to be banned. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, at the present moment, a lot of Chinese nationals own quite a bit of land in Texas as is. So what that's going to mean for retrofit, we don't know. I think there's going to be several amendments to the bill, but I will tell you there's other states that have already passed this legislation. So that legislation is likely to go through. Now, there's some ways around it, and we can probably make some further videos and comments about how that's actually set up and what comes from it. But nonetheless, keep an eye on Bill number 17 coming out of the Texas Senate here very soon. And the last little note I'll make, the city of Dallas won over Charlotte, North Carolina in a bid for Scotiabank. Scotiabank is a massive Canadian bank, and they are opening up regional headquarters here in Texas. I find it really fascinating that a Canadian bank is setting up in Texas. That's a whole other component I won't get into. Canada might be the 51st state after all. We'll just see. But what I will tell you is that them setting up, winning over North Carolina and setting up in Texas, they gave them all kinds of tax benefits. They're actually literally giving them over $2.7 million in build-out credits. But it's a 100,000 square foot facility going in the middle of downtown Dallas. So the fact that we're seeing a lot more of that, Dallas being competitive, Texas being competitive, and attracting these major businesses really sets up Texas for the long term for the next 10 to 20 years when it comes to jobs, economic growth, and investments happening in this community. So those are the key highlights of story, probably more information than you wanted for now, but at the very least, stay tuned, stick with us, and remember, we want to be a part of your portfolio.